Hello, and in today's video I am going to be ranking every single tier 5 monkey and hero on this scale from F to SS tier. I am going to be taking into consideration how good they are in chimps, free play, and how good they are for saving up. So how good are the tiers before, so the tier 4 and the tier 3 primarily here. So yeah. Let's just start with the first monkey on our list, which is Ultra Juggernaut. Ultra Juggernaut is probably the weakest, if not crossbow master, of the tier 5 dwarf monkeys. It is not particularly good. He's really only good on maps that are very closed in. So cornfields, so he's very good for no harvest cornfield chimps, since he bounces on the corn, and other closed in maps. But he's not bad in any means, but I'm probably gonna put him in B-. Next we have Plasma Monkey Fan Club. Not really that good at all. Not very useful in a lot of games. It's a very expensive monkey for what you get. Very good for boss rush, since you get money very quickly there, and it does do a lot of DPS. But like it's only gonna be good when you use the ability. So during the downtime of the ability, it's not gonna be very good, so I'm gonna have to put this in D tier. Crossbow master, very fast shots, not very heavy bullets. Sharpshooter, tier 4, is pretty good and is an amazing way to deal with camos early on, especially the tier 3, but I can't put it higher than D tier. Now we have our first very strong pick, in my opinion. The Glaive Lord is an amazing save up tower, since the multi-objective advanced ricochet before is very good for just killing any type of balloon that isn't a MOA balloon. So, and I would say it's an amazing save up, and the Glaive Lord itself does a lot of damage towards both MOABs and normal balloons. I'm gonna have to put this guy in S tier. Not really SS tier, but definitely S tier. Permacharge. Probably the worst of the tier 5s. Can be pretty good with Geraldo's Jerry's Fire. But its T4 is pretty useless, since it's an ability, which means it has downtime and has some parts of the game where it's not active and you can really only use it on the harder rounds. So I'm gonna have to put this one in B tier. Just so everyone knows, this is my opinion. Feel free to leave a comment and complain however much you want with my opinions and prove me wrong. And I might actually reconsider some of these rankings. Alright, this guy. Very expensive, but the Moab Press is very good support tower. Especially mid-late game, it can push back for a very cheap price, but the tier 5 itself is very expensive, and the expensive part is the thing that drags it down. But if you can afford this, it's a very good one. So I'm gonna put it in A- or A-. Balloon Crush. Yeah, this thing, it is not good. Let me tell you, it's not good. It's very expensive, and it literally just stuns Moabs. Just use a main Moab at that point, which is like 10 times as cheap, and yeah. Tier 4, not very good. it can be good for support when you pair it with rocket cross path, but I have to put this in F tier. Someone maybe can change my mind in the comments if anyone comments, but you know. Mob Eliminator, I think it's better than Balloon Crush, but definitely not that crazy good. I'm probably gonna put this guy in, considering he's a pretty cheap tier 5 and the Mob Assassin is pretty good for its price, but is mostly an ability focused tower. I'm gonna put this guy in C tier. Bomb Blitz, I think it's called. I think it's one of the cheaper tier 5s, but I think it's definitely not worse than Bomb Crush, but I don't think it's better than Moab Eliminator, so I think it goes into a clear D here. Very nice here, C, D, F. Coming into the Tack Shooter with the Inferno Ring, one of my favorite tier 5s in the game actually, especially since I like to play with Etienne, and making super range Inferno Ring is a very fun strategy. Has map wide projectile that just seeks whatever balloon you have it soaring into. Very good set to strong and can actually do a lot of damage towards BADs and any other balloon. Only bad thing is of course the price tag, but the tier 4 I would say is a really good early game and early mid game carry. So if you can use this as an early game carry and then later on manage to save up, I think it's a pretty good one. I'm probably gonna put this guy in A tier. Schmail, very good paired with Pet Fusty, and probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest tier 5s in the game among them. Can be really good if buffed a lot, but not that good. Only good on very specific maps where there's a lot of roundup, like loops or tight corners that the balloons curve around so that the ability hits all balloons. I'm probably gonna have to put this guy, unfortunately. I love this path, like it's a really fun tier 5 to use, but in terms of effectiveness, high D or low C probably. I'm probably gonna put it in high D. Next up we have the Tax Zone, a very in the middle kind of tier 5 that can be very good paired with Geraldo actually because of his buffs. Very cheap, and the Overdrive is a very good early game carry that can carry a lot if it has a camo counterpart, which is a weakness to all the tier 5s. They don't have camo, so a teen or a camo village or anything that decamos or gives camo is a good option for these. I'm gonna have to put in B-. I'm gonna put it over you, Jug. Alright. Super Brittle. Very OP support tower. Gives, I believe, +2 damage when brittled. And obviously it's not a attack hero, but more support. But playing the role as support, it does amazingly. And it's a decently cheap tier 5 as well. And the tier 4 is also broken, like it's so good. I use probably Embrittlement as almost my #1 support pick in the game. I'm probably gonna put it in S- here. Sub-Zero. Probably the worst of the ice paths in my opinion. The only thing that is good is the ability, which freezes all balloons permanent for like a long time completely and slows all Moab class. But I don't think it's relatively cheap still price, 22k I think. It's not good enough for 4k more, and the tier 4 is very bad as well. Like compared to, for example, the super brittle. No. C or let's put in C tier. Icicle Impale, really in the middle, I would say. B tier. D tier 4, which I have now forgotten the name of. Icicle Shooter maybe, I don't know. Is also pretty good, and this guy can freeze and deal actually pretty some heavy damage to mob classes. It surprises me every time I get this how good it actually is, but I still don't think it can be even close to Super Brittle's strength, but it's definitely not as bad as Sub-Zero. I'm gonna put this guy under the tier 5 boomerang, which I've totally forgotten the name of. Alright, Balloon Solver. The Ceramic's Worst Nightmare is very good paired with this guy, with Icicle Impale, because he slows the mobs very well, while this guy shreds the insides. So yeah, but yeah, this guy is tier 4. Balloon Liquefier is also pretty good, so it is a pretty easy save up when paired with another DPS. I'm gonna put this guy in B tier. Alright, next up, Glue Storm. Glue Storm is pretty good, I would say. Basically, just I think this actually is the cheapest tier 5 in the game. 12k I believe. Oh, 12k I believe. And with bottom cross path makes everything much slower, and with top path makes everyone more vulnerable to your tier 5 DPS. On its own, this guy is probably F tier, but paired with another DPS tower, it can probably be pretty good. So I'm gonna put this guy as well in B tier. Next up, Super Glue. This guy is definitely SS or S tier. Basically permastuns anything that isn't a BAD, making this guy usable in literally every game mode, I would say. Maybe not as useful in free play and other game modes, but I would definitely say chimps. If you have this guy with literally any tier 5 that's purpose is to deal a lot of damage, you can probably win. This guy is so good, and its tier 4s are just so good as well. The Moab Glue, the tier 3 is already crazy good, and Relentless Glue can literally carry rounds like 98 where everything is so close together. I'm gonna have to put this guy in SS tier. If somebody disagrees, feel free to tell me why, and I might change my opinion, but this is just my current opinion. Next up, military category. We're done with primary. We have Cripple Moab. Cripple Moab is very good, I would say. It's pretty balanced. It is not, because of its price, 34k I think. He is very good with stunning and even killing Moabs. Like unlike his counterpart, his tier 4, the May Moab, which really only stuns. It doesn't really do that much Moab damage. This guy does Moab damage, and it makes them vulnerable. So just like the Glue Storm and Super Brittle, any Moab or Balloon that gets hit by this guy is gonna be more damaged by any source. So I'm probably gonna have to put this guy in A tier. Elite Sniper, another cheap tier 5 that is Very good in non-free play modes. No, non-chimps modes. He can still be used in chimps because he's very good at, for example, round 63. If you have him by round 63, no issue, you're gonna shred that round. And he does give money, so in free play is also very good. And at elite sniper stage, he buffs all other snipers' attack speed, so he's very good paired with Cripple Moab. For that reason, I'm probably gonna put him in B tier because he's not that crazy good, but he's not bad either. Definitely not bad. Elite Defender, one of my favorite tier 5s. Can be an early and mid game hard carry, but late game usually falls off a little bit unless he's very buffed. His bonus that he gets 4x attack speed whenever you lose a life can be good if you're not playing chimps, but any other game other than chimps is pretty much already a free win. They're not really hard to win unless you're maybe playing expert maps, which he then can be pretty useful with it, but in Impoppable and chimps you're just gonna die, so you're never gonna see the use of his 4 attack speed when losing lives, which is why I'm gonna put him in A- tier, because I think he's better than Elite Sniper but not better than Cripple Moab. Energizer. Let's be honest here, I'm gonna be completely honest. I do not have a bunch of opinions on the sub tier 5s because I never used the sub tier 5s. Its previous stages are very good, but I almost never get specifically the Energizer. If we're taking into account its previous stages, so the tier 4 and tier 3, it is very good because the D camo is cheap and the tier 4 also does damage. So but I don't even know what the reactor really does other than giving more XP and making cooldowns faster. It can maybe be helpful later on if you have a very ability focused or hero focused build, so maybe with Churchill or Psy maybe he can be good, but I don't think he deserves more than a B tier at max, maybe a B-, I think. Next up, Preemptive Strike, I think this is called, because it's not first strike, right? Preemptive. Whenever a Moab class spawns, he shoots out a boom, a missile, I think, yeah. Tier 4, very good on round 100 to ignore the entirety of the insides of the BAD, but I never make him more than tier 4, which is why I don't think he's that good of a tier 5 and why he should belong right above the Energizer. Tier 4, if it was a tier 4 tier list, would probably S tier, but tier 5 is just so not worth it in my opinion. Maybe good towards rounds where there's a lot of small Moabs, maybe Moabs and BFBs, and I haven't played a lot with this, so I might be wrong here, and if so, tell me if this guy is actually really busted and good, but I think he's only B tier. Sub Commander, my most used out of these 2 tier 5s, and that's why I think he deserves a low A-. Pretty cheap tier 5, and if you're playing a sub army strategy with Brickle, can be like S tier, it can literally shred, but overall as a tower, actually maybe high A when I'm thinking about it, because he's actually really strong and he buffs the subs as I said, and yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. Alright, next up we have the Carrier Flagship. The Carrier Flagship I think is definitely an S tier. Hard mid-game carry, like it can so strongly carry mid-game, and you can get it up pretty early. The destroyer, you hear it in its name, the tier 3 destroyer, it destroys early rounds and the Moabs if you pair it with a middle path. Only bad thing is you're gonna need a camo option. So if you have a teen or camo village or decamo sub or anything like that, it's gonna be good. But also it might be good to pair with bottom cross path, because bottom cross path does a lot more damage when in tier 5. So if you're planning to make it a tier 5, it can still be really beneficial to have the bottom path, and you also have the early camo detection. It's just that destroyer might struggle a little bit more with damage against mobs, for example. But as soon as you get this guy up, you're pretty much chilling until at least round 85. And that's why I think he deserves S tier. Next up, Pirate Lord gives money and can hook in, I think, up to ZOMGs? Or is it BFBs? I'm not too sure. But it's actually a pretty strong tier 5. But definitely not as strong as carrier flagship, which is why I'm putting this guy in A tier. Next up, this guy. Trade Empire. This guy is going straight to the F tier. There is, unless it's a boss event, you're never gonna use this guy. I doubt you have, unless you're going like crazy farming on Impoppable or something, but which is still only usable on like water maps. And no, just no. This guy's literally just an F tier. There's, yeah, no debate. Be quiet in the comments. Alright, Sky Shredder. I actually really like this tier 5. Pairs really well on maps with really tight spaces or loop arounds where all the blues get very concentrated, and if this guy goes through a crowd, yeah, they're dead, man. They're dead. I'm gonna put Sky in S-. Hate me or hate me not, I don't care. This guy is pretty good. But next up we have a guy that is not as good in my opinion. Sword Bomba. Going into this guy is actually, I barely use this guy. I know he could 1 TC at one point with crazy ace micro, but this is the thing. First of all, not a lot of people know how to ace micro that good, and I don't know if he's been nerfed or not. I've not kept up with the state of this guy, and this is really how if someone knows the state of this guy right here, please tell me, because I have no idea. But in my experience, for example in boss events and stuff where I'm trying to farm pops, specifically pops for example Ace Paragon, this guy always gets the least pops out of the tier 5 aces, and I can't give him anything more than a low D here. Like, I don't know. But yeah, if he's still as good, maybe he's even up here. But yeah, no, low D. Flying Fortress though, yeah baby. This guy is going straight to bottom S tier. Ice Ab plane. If you can somehow manage to get this guy in chimps, which is doable, because his tier 4, the Spectre, is really good as well. Probably one of the best tier 4s in the game, and has amazing. If you get this guy in a game, you have a free win. Literally any map. I doubt there's a map where if you get Flying Fortress, you lose, unless it's like the shortest map in the shortest multipath map in the game or something like that. But any of the main maps that exist in BTD6, this guy is gonna crush it. So probably, I think I'm gonna do some adjustments here. Carry flagship over Flying Fortress, but Flying Fortress over Glaive War. Yeah. But next up we have Apache Prime going straight to SS tier, no debate. This guy, I have used this guy for so many chimps runs. It's hard to even count, man. This guy has an amazing save up because the Apache Dart Ship, the tier 4, is also crazy good, but the only downside is that it's expensive. But paired with support and some other towers, this guy can have an easy save up to get him. And once you get him, just get a couple of support towers, and this guy can get, I usually get like 1.5 million pops with this guy, which means he basically carries 75% of the game. Next up, special operations. In my opinion, the worst of the tier 5 helis, going straight into bottom C tier. Good support and gives up lives and money. Not lives or money though, if you're in chimps. So if you're playing chimps, F tier, but in other game modes, pretty good, I would say. He still has his ability, the marine, that goes down and does a couple thousand pops, but I don't think it's anything noteworthy. I don't know, maybe it's really good. I don't think so though. So I don't know, actually top D tier. And he can move around towers, so paired with a perma brew, pretty good. Pretty important for free play is what it's called. To move around permabrew to buff everything, but other than that, actually a low D tier. He's just going lower and lower. It started in C, then D, then low D. Next up, Comanche Commander. Middle of the game here. I actually use Comanche Commander a lot because I like the tower. The Moab, I don't know, the tier 3 that slows down Moabs, and I just like the concept of slowing down and pushing back the Moabs, and I think it's a pretty good tower. Pretty balanced price, and has his little minions to help him. Next up, the Mortar, my least used monkey in the game. I have no idea how good these are, but just a general quick ranking here. This is gonna be a quick fire round because I don't know. Putting biggest one in C tier, artillery battery in high D, and blue incineration in A tier. Yeah, don't ask me. That's just my guesses because I never use him. Ray of Doom. Expensive, but Pierce is the name of the game with him. If you can afford him, you probably have a free win against everything except maybe the BTD. I don't know. I don't think you can probably, if it's a long map, you can definitely kill the BAD with this, and probably on any map you can probably kill the BAD with this if you have a couple of other towers. But I'm gonna put this guy top of A tier. MAD though, going straight into the S tier, kills any Moab balloon so easily. Put a knock on this guy, and yeah, they're dead. The balloons are dead. If you pair this guy with a balloon solver, you counter everything. Balloon exclusive relation zone, or whatever he's called. Yeah, this guy's just C tier. I've not used him that much. His tier 4 is pretty good because he auto targets balloons and stuff. But yeah, not much other things to say. Pretty expensive, and it's not that crazy good. Archmage, going straight into bottom S tier. Pretty cheap and still shreds. I use him a lot for chimps actually. Maybe even better than Flying Fortress overall. Arcane Spike just gives a huge boost to Moab damage in your setup, and just a really good pick. Phoenix Lord has probably one of the, in my opinion, worst tier 4s just because of the fact that his tier 4 only gives an ability, just like this fellow over here, the perma charge. But I do think it's better than the perma charge, so I'm putting in B-. Next up, Prince of Darkness, my beloved, going straight into the A tier because he's my GOAT. Cheap and good. Don't argue with me. True sun god. Now, he's just too expensive, man. If this guy was cheap, of course, he would be SS tier, but he is not cheap, he is hella expensive, and even if you get 400k, you still need sacrifices worth like 200 more k, so total to get this guy into something good, you're gonna have to spend at least 700k. You're not getting 700k in any chimps game, and probably not towards later rounds in Impoppable if you are farming like really good. This guy's only getting a B tier because of his price. Maybe even B- because he's too expensive, man. Next up, we have the robot monkey guy that I totally forgot the name of. Don't gonna remember him either. He uses his ability and kills anything that isn't a BAD, but still does huge damage to BAD. 70k, and Tech Terror, they want... Hold on, is this the Tech Terror? No, it's not. This is the anti-bloom. See, I found the name. The Tech Terror, mostly ability used. I like the Robo Monkey more than any of these, the Robo Monkey's tier upgrades. Probably putting this guy in B tier. Next up, Legend of the Night. I love the Dark Knight. The tier 3, not the movie. And if you can somehow afford this guy, since it is one of my favorite towers in the entire game, he's getting put into S- tier. Don't doubt me, man. Alright, yo, this guy, Balloon Jitsu Master, I think it's called. He's going S tier. This guy paired with support ninjas goes crazy. Maybe I'm gonna put him in SS tier, man. If you're playing a ninja setup, this guy is gonna shred. You will win with this setup, man. If you have an MIB as well, so they can hit lead, easy win. Next up, Grand Saboteur. A tier, pretty good support, especially good on round 100 to make like maybe like 20% of the BAD's health can go down with just this ability. Master Bomber, very good, very nice, going into S-, can probably one-shot most of the Moab balloons with his Moab mine. Is probably F tier against normal balloons, but yeah, I'm putting him in S-. Perma Brew, SS tier, buffs everything with +2 damage, more range, and just everything. This guy can make literally tier 3 Dark Knights almost win a chimps game with just this guy's combo. Like, imagine a dark champion with a permabrew, easy win. A permabrew with like most tier 5s can probably win maybe chimps. Might be an overstatement, but I think this game is really good and worth it a lot of times if you can do the save up. Especially good with Sun Avatar. Ooh, when I think about it, this guy should go up in actually A- tier because of the fact that the Sun Avatar is very good mid-game. Good thing I realized the Sun Avatar is actually good. Next up, Total Transformation. Does anyone use this guy? Except in races. Get out of here, man. This tier 3 I've actually started using, but Total Transformation and Transformation Tonic No, man. No, man. This guy's tier 3 is the only good part, because he can shred 95. 98, I mean. BMA, go in an F tier. Just because I don't feel that he really has the firepower. Like, you spend 40k on something that tier 4 is literally does nothing, and you're never gonna see this guy used in a game. I never see him. The only time people use him is when they sell everything around before round 80 and just one-shot the ZOMG on like magic monkeys only. No. Don't try and argue with me that this guy's bad. Even though he's gonna get probably the most pops in each free play run, but still. Druid! Druid of the Storm going in B tier. Very expensive, but when you do get it, anything except BADs are gonna be a problem. BAD is gonna be your only issue forward in that run. Unless the DDTs get too fast, then maybe. Spirit of Forest, definitely better than Druid of the Storm. Pretty good damage. I'm gonna put this guy in A tier actually. He is probably not as good as people say, but I just think he's used so much that he just feels very good. He's like just no, I'm putting in A- actually. He is not that crazy good, but people do use him a lot because of a reason. But I don't think that he's that good. If somebody, I know people love this guy, probably put him in S tier, but I don't think he's that good. Druid of Wrath, same situation as Spirit of Forest. Not that crazy, but can be a really good, like, cheap setup to literally shred everything. An MIB plus this guy and just a bunch of his friends for like 100k spent can probably get like a 70k save up on some chimps maps. So actually A tier. We're getting into this guy right here, mermonkey. I don't really play mermonkey except top path mermonkey in races. From that experience, literally only, that's the only experience I have with mermonkey. Top path in races and boss events. I'm putting this guy in A tier. Poseidon is going in C tier because he's too expensive and I don't even think he does that much damage. Final Harmonic, I have heard is crazy good, and I've actually done some chimps runs on, for example, Ouch chimps with Final Harmonic, and Final Harmonic is actually really good. Literally just makes them swirl around in that little roundabout, and it's pretty good. I'll put her in S tier. Support monkeys and heroes left. Banana Central. Yeah, if we're going for chimps, these are obviously in F tier, but we're gonna go all around. This guy's still going in F tier. Tier 5 bank, no, still going in F tier, I don't care. Banana Central, very good, going in S tier, S- tier, and this guy can go in A tier. And of course, if we're thinking chimps, all the way down F tier for all of them. Super mines, you're never realistically gonna afford decent chimps, but does do a lot of damage. But because of its price, A-. Backstorm, DDT's worst nightmare, getting put in S tier. Get this guy, and Animoa will probably wish they were already dead. Don't know which monkey's description that is, but it's someone's. As long as you have a good normal bloom cleanup with this, because this guy will kind of suffer towards ceramics. You're gonna be fine otherwise. Permaspike also going actually in A tier. Permaspike used to be much better in my opinion, and now it's still very good, A tier. But yeah, a pretty good price and can really kill DDTs and sometimes even like shred the the bad at the end. Villages. We can already put this guy in D tier. He is not that good. I mean, he is like good in. He can be good in like boss events and other stuff, but I don't think he's that good. Very overrated, Monkeyopolis. Primary expertise going in B-. Can't do a lot of damage. Like I've seen Ryan Halleck did like a 2 million pops or something with this guy. So he can do a lot of damage, but he needs to be really buffed, and he does do great damage against ceramics, has a lot of pierce, but I don't think rarely you're gonna get this guy for damage, and the support that he gives is not really worth it. Next up, this guy that I somehow... Homeland Defense, I did not actually forget the name. Going in low B tier. 100% attack speed buff. Can be good late game, but not really that useful in normal game modes in my opinion. Engineer, one of my favorite monkeys in the game. Sentry champion going straight into top A tier. Trust me, we're not having this discussion. This guy is good. His tier 4 is very good early game because he has different damage types, but they can sometimes be messing with you and you're gonna wonder why it's giving what it's giving. Ultra boost, really good in boss events and in free play, but not gonna be used in chimps that much, lowering it down from probably an S tier to an A-. XXL trap, useless in chimps, almost useless in chimps, can actually eat up a lot, so I'm putting this guy in C tier. Megalodon going straight to the top of S, probably the best non-Paragon DPS in the entire game, other than maybe VTSG. Yeah, no explanation. Megalodon is the GOAT. Next up, T-Rex, pretty bad. And for some reason just randomly lags my game when playing with him in Rogue Legends. I don't know. This guy's not good. Don't get him. Someone that you should be getting though is Pukai. This guy is actually pretty good. I've actually used him a bit. He used to be SS, but I think he's been nerfed a bit and I don't really use him as much anymore, so I'm putting this guy in A tier. Now we only have the heroes left. Let's do some quick just ranking. B tier, B tier, C tier, B tier, C tier, A tier probably, C tier, B tier, A tier, I am biased, A tier, Soda probably S-, A tier, B tier, A tier, B tier, and Rosalia going in B tier. That's it. No, actually, we're probably gonna put down these guys. That's it. Now that's it. Soul has been nerfed too much recently. That is the final tier list. I did a bit of a speed run around there. Don't really want to explain all the heroes because I don't want to. Should be safe explanatory. They're all 20 on top at the top because they're the GOATs. Yeah, tell me what towers disagree. Feel free to shit on me in the comments. I don't give a shit. This is objectively the truth unless you prove me otherwise, which you might do. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.